Hello,
Hi.
Carol. So this week was actually my first week going to my practicum, and they actually ended up having a substitute. So I just kind of sat back and observed, especially since it was my first time, during their lit block. And my specific day, they worked on a couple worksheets of Greek and Latin roots, and Liz and I kind of talked that maybe those would be more of like decoding because they're looking within the words and trying to figure out what each word means.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's kind of hard because there was a sub, so obviously I didn't get to see the teacher actually what she would have done in that case. But it was basically just like the worksheets, and they explained what each root meant, and then different sentences where they had to match them up or decide which word, what it meant, the definition, kind of. But I feel like there could have been more, more detail.
More for you to see, especially if the actual teacher was there.
Yeah, maybe she would have explained it more, had them just do more activity with it. And then afterwards they read, the substitute read aloud, Journey to the Moon. They're kind of talking about space and things right now, I figured out. But he just stood, none of them had it, like books or anything. It must just be a teacher's manual, and he read it out loud. And then they had to answer questions afterwards. And I noticed that, especially when they don't have the words in front of them and they're just supposed to listen, a lot of kids got really distracted.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would be distracted too.
What grade are they in?
Third grade. Yes, they are third graders. So some of them were really interested, it seemed, and could answer the questions pretty easily afterwards, but a lot of them just really spaced out.
So maybe that would be more of like a challenge too.
We're looking at our practicum journal templates.
Yeah. It could be a challenge for especially a substitute teacher to try to get them back on track.
Definitely, because you always feel like every class in general, whenever they have a substitute, they always try to push the boundaries. Like they're getting up and like going to get drinks and going to the bathroom and like sharpening their pencils all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always hard to keep them focused.
So yeah, especially like maybe for in your case when the teacher's talking and stuff like that, and the students get really distracted. Maybe make sure that they have something like a reason, a purpose set to be focusing on that.
Definitely. I feel like as I get more like comfortable, like after going a few more times, then I'll really be able to like know the students and how they work and focus, and then be able to individually just kind of step in and help them. You can kind of talk about what you did, and then we can.
Okay. Well, in my practicum experience, I'm seeing a lot of different things. I have kind of been going. I've gone 3 times now. But so I'm going back to my second time. But I've kind of been going at different times every day, just with kind of what works with her schedule and the groups of students that she sees at that time. So during this time, I got to see 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and 1st grade reading recovery. So the 2nd grade and 3rd grade groups do the program called SIPS, and I asked her what that stood for, and she didn't remember.
She didn't even, goodness, wow.
But it's a program that they've been doing for a couple of years now, and my teacher really hates it, and I can definitely see why, because it's a scripted program, and so she literally like has a notebook in front of her, and it's scripted for her, and she's supposed to read, like, okay, say it, spell it, say it again, what is this, what is that, like asking them all these questions, and the way she explained it to me was, I know my students, I know what questions I need to be asking them, like they shouldn't have to be telling me. So that was something, and it gets really repetitive, because I've seen that, like, I've seen her do that with different groups probably like 4 times now, and it's just the same exact thing for every group. The only difference is like the level that they're reading at, or the sight words that they're using and stuff like that. So
does it like obviously each grade would be different, but is it different each student within the grade, or is it still kind of on the same level?
They're all on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah, so
they're
all
like lower level readers.
Well, okay, so when I went yesterday, I got to see a kindergarten group do it. And what she explained to me with that was the kindergartners that she has are the higher level kindergartners.
Okay.
And normally she's used to working with the lower level
Mhm,
students. So that was really different. But normally she works with the lower level students, so that's what this was. Let's see. Yeah, a challenge for me, which I mentioned in my last practicum journal, is that these students are really, really young for me.
Yeah.
Maybe not third grade so much, but like the first grade and second grade for sure. Because right now I'm in an 8th grade practicum, and I had a 6th grade practicum last semester, and otherwise the highest or the lowest level in elementary that I've been with is 4th grade.
Okay.
So it's really, really difficult for me to get into their minds at that age.
That's definitely nice though that you can see that as well, because you might end up like loving that, you know.
Right.
You never really know.
It's nice to have the variety, because I found that I really like middle school too, which I never thought would happen. So I feel like that could be a challenge for her as a teacher too, because she's going from like kindergartners to 3rd graders and stuff like that throughout the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really interesting. She does a really good job at giving them feedback, like all of the time, whether it's positive feedback or, I don't want to say negative, but feedback that would help them and say like, no, you didn't do this right, whatever, and then they'll go back and look over it, and then the student will correct it, and she'll say, great job, like do it just like that again next time, and she does that constantly. So that's something I guess I can really relate back to class when we talk about give the students confidence, and it also gives them motivation to keep moving on with their reading and do better.
Going off of that too, I actually noticed my first time I like look around the classroom a lot, and on the board she had where kind of like what their daily schedule is, but the top of it title is I can, and then it like goes through what they're doing that day. So like they had answer questions after reading and like define Greek and Latin roots. So I thought that was interesting, because we always talk about based off of what students can do and what they not rather than what they can't do.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of neat.
That is really cool. And a lot of the time, too, they have like the learning target will be like, today I will be able to.
Yes.
Or whatever. And
I like that.
I think that's cooler because it says like I can do
this.
this.
Exactly.
They can look up there and see what they can do.
And something else I thought that was cool. Next to that, it was written, we have a growth mindset, and then they had weekly goals. So each student had a little box and then Post-its. I didn't quite like go into it, I guess, look at it too much, but I'm assuming the students each wrote their own goal.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if it was like if they sat down with the teacher and like decided it or how that went. And then I noticed some of them were gone, so I'm assuming if they met the goal, then they got to take off their Post-it, which I thought that was pretty neat as well.
That is cool. I like that. The teacher's also really good at setting a purpose for the students when they're reading. A lot of the times, I mean, obviously these students are kids who are lower level readers, so they probably don't enjoy it as much. And she always makes sure to set a purpose at the beginning of their reading. So she'll say, like, okay, right now we're going to try to read for fluency. And so then they'll go over like the 4 steps that they have for when they get stuck on a word. This is what they do, and they'll practice it like together, or the teacher will practice it with them. She'll model it for them. So she'll like hold up a book or like a poster book, and she'll pretend to read it and be like the big truck, and do that for them.
Kind of model it.
Yeah, and so I think that's really cool because she'll set a purpose, but she'll also like model it.
Yeah,
what they
definitely.
should do. So I think that's really cool.
And like for them as well, if she's using actually the words like fluency and comprehension, whatever, then they get to understand what that is right away. Because honestly, I had no idea what that was when I was in school. I was like, what is fluency? Why is that?
And they're
even?
like first grade, and she'll say that. So
they can go home and be like, I worked on my fluency today.
And they're being exposed to those words
exactly.
right away, which is really cool. I also got to see. Then I got to see 3rd grade win, which is what I need, and the students that I was with, they were working on finding a purpose for reading.
Nice.
So that was cool. And then I got to see reading recovery with a 1st grader, and that was really
individualized.
Yeah, yeah. So it's 1-on-1, and the first grader that I was with is a student who they think that she could be identified for having ADHD.
Okay.
Her parents are from a country in Asia.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, she didn't tell me, she said that they're from Asia. And they don't really understand that she needs
Struggles.
help because she can't focus in class.
Okay.
So she told me that they tried talking to the parents and said, like, what does she do when she's at home? And the mom says, oh, she's running around in the yard, and then she'll come inside and play video games, and then she's up a minute later running around, whatever. And so they try to explain to her, well, this is what she does when she's in school too.
Yeah,
She can't
that's
focus
not
on her
okay.
reading. When she's reading, she's all over the place, and her feet are everywhere. And so that would be a really big challenge because the
definitely.
teacher is always telling her, focus, focus, focus. Where should your eyes be? Where should your finger be? Whatever.
And it's tough when then she goes home and isn't continually like working on it. You know, like when she gets home, it's okay to do
whatever.
those things that aren't good for her in the classroom.
So that would be a really big challenge. So they're really working to find kind of a ground with her parents to try to help her out. But she's very, very smart. She just has a lot of time focusing. And like every 2 minutes, the teacher has to redirect her attention.
Wow. Yeah.
So for her, the really big thing that she has to focus on is finding something that interests her. So, which we've talked about too.
Definitely.
Students have to be interested if they want to find a reason to like what they're doing. So she, the teacher always makes sure to find books that relate to things that she likes and stuff like that.
Awesome. Interest inventory.
Yes.
Cool.
And probe her a little bit.
Nice.
Yep.
We learned how to probe.
We did.
Wow.
I think that's all I really have.
Yes. Thanks, Carol.